to it. So how much do you know about Bomber? I don't get to watch a huge amount of the GSL. I don't have the time. So can you tell me a little bit about what to expect?
Well, he usually is quite an aggressive player. What I like about him, you know how Autosis always says, if you're ahead, try to get more ahead. Bomber just says, if you're ahead, finish it.
So
I like that style.
Very cutthroat, to the point kind of player.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
Now, what do you think your teammate HayprO is actually going to do in this situation?
Well, he'll just go for a solid macro game, as he always does. Try to defend, try to go to late game, and then have like a 200 supply army and a really powerful unit composition.
So here we go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the one and only HayprO. He's from Team Liquid. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg versus his opponent, the one and only Bomber. He's in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the southeast of the Shakuras Plateau.
Once again, cross position. I wonder actually if is it the old version again? No.
I was going to say, I certainly hope not. That would be very unpleasant. We did actually have one game played on MLG Shakuras Plateau. It didn't really matter because it was Zerg versus Zerg and it didn't come into play, but still.
People wouldn't be happy about that.
No, he would not, and I would hardly blame him. Barracks coming down right here for Bomber, and there's the refinery on 13 supply. Nice and standard, and I would expect the fast expansion any moment now from HayprO.
Definitely a safe call as the drone goes down there, and there comes the hatchery.
Down it goes. No problems whatsoever there. So is Bomber the kind of player to go for a very aggressive early game, or does he tend to wait it out and then go for one crushing attack to finish it all in one go?
Well, he's not like he just goes for an all-in, but he just knows how to end games.
Okay, we'll see what he decides to do with it. Barracks down right here for Bomber, and immediately into a tech lab. But with nothing else coming up, there is the possibility of perhaps a Reaper fast expansion here.
Yeah, could be. It's actually quite likely.
Bomber having a look around and seeing what he can see. He'll get some good scouting information on HayprO. HayprO with the spawning pool coming up right here. No gas yet for HayprO. He will no doubt grab one shortly, but it is quite late, to say the least.
I like that a lot. Playing a little bit like Spanishiva, delaying that gas a lot, because you really don't need it that early.
However, Bomber with a bunker rush right here. This will be a Reaper bunker attack, or at least it will be if he's able to do it. HayprO pushing that SCV away quite nicely. He's going to have to be fairly aggressive in defending this. Very, very quickly tries to lay it down right there. Bomber dodges and weaves, and it's only halfway up, so the likelihood of that bunker going up is very, very slim.
No,
however,
there's a Reaper coming now, but that bunker will definitely be denied. 2 queens coming up already, and we do have a sneaky drone on the main base of Bomber, and maybe he forgot about it, and it will give HayprO a second scouting opportunity, which will make him very comfortable.
bunker goes down, however, there is one Reaper up on the field. We're looking for a second one here from Bomber, and he will expand at that point. And Bomber actually still can't see that second drone, so that's really, really nice there for HayprO.
And HayprO does know about the second gas coming for Terran as well, making him very comfortable about knowing there's not going to be a too strong bio timing attack coming, but he can take his time and drone up and tech up.
HayprO with a reasonably solid defense right here. There are a couple of Reapers on the field, which is not what you really want in your base, if I'm totally honest with you, but still, he should be okay for the moment. And still that drone hiding in the corner there.
And now it makes its move. It's going to be scouting the factory on the tech lab, and it will see there's nothing too fancy coming up.
In the meantime, a little bit of Reaper harassment coming in right here from Bomber. Tries to do as much damage as he can. Unfortunately, Reaper's not amazing against Queens, but great against drones. Picks off one, looks for another one right here, and more importantly, denies the entire mineral line for a while.
Definitely, and taking out a few Zerglings as well. 2 Queens on the spot now, and they shouldn't be doing too much damage anymore.
And he's out of there. Bomber just losing that one, unfortunately. He's still got 1 Reaper in the base. It's already taken 6 kills, so it's doing pretty well. He's managed to take out a few workers, certainly. He took down 2. The Reaper's not amazingly effective, but more to the point, keeping HayprO under pressure and gaining scouting information.
Yep, and keeping HayprO on his toes as well. He needs to stay aware of what he's doing, and it can't just slip and only macro as he places.
We're looking for 3 barracks right here, backed up by Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellion for the moment for Bomber. That Reaper is inexplicably still alive, and Bomber gaining great information and doing fantastic harassment on the back right here. Looks like he might even take another drone, and he may not be able to do that. The Queenling of Intercept, he takes one, but he's finally down.
Not too much of an effective Reaper harassment. I think HayprO is a little bit ahead now, but Bomber knows what's happening and he has all the information he needs to adapt his play.
35 drones to 28 SCVs right now, and of course 2 mules down, so as he said, slightly ahead for HayprO. And we do have 20 Zerglings coming out, Baneling Nest on the way for him as well.
20 Zerglings will make that Pre-Igniter Hellions quite useless, more or less, so he won't be doing any damage unless HayprO misclicks and does very bad micro.
However, this may end up being it's certainly possible that the second wave of Hellions could be a Hellion drop. I mean, there's a Starport coming up, but by the looks of it, we're not getting that, because it's actually going through and building siege tanks now.
Yeah, Bomber just playing very safe, not doing anything cheesy, but I think it's still gonna be a Medivac coming out. Of course, you want to get them anyways for your bio army. It never hurts to have them, then you go for Hellions.
And Bomber looking to try and get, and HayprO with a very patient surround. He nails down one, and there we go, cornering. Very nicely done there by HayprO. Fantastic. In the meantime, HayprO streaming across the map once again, trying to do a little bit of damage to his opponent, and he could perhaps certainly turn some of these into Banelings and have a crack at that wall, but that's a very tough wall to break.
It actually looks like HayprO is going for a semi-2 base all in, still pumping out a lot of Zerglings and just wants to go for the kill right away.
20 Banelings, that is a intense amount, and Bomber is perhaps not prepared for something that crazy. And Bomber doesn't have anything to scout it with either. He's locked into his base right now. HayprO looking to break this line, and where is the weakest point when there really isn't one? And the tank doesn't have deployment yet. Siege Deck is not up. He smashes his way through the front line, and right now Bomber in an awful lot of trouble as we get a swarm right around. He looks for the surround. Is he able to get it? Banelings detonating, not doing a huge amount of damage to Bomber. A last detonation, he cleans up. HayprO driving his way into the base of Bomber right now. Bomber in a huge amount of trouble. Still a few Zerglings available. He can take one tank, a quick pick up and go there by Bomber. He saves them for the moment. Some great micromanagement. Not a lot left of HayprO's force right now. He does have a few Zerglings at the back, but really, it has kind of petered out.
We do have 2 Banelings sneaking at the right side, but I think the tank actually... No, he did not spot it. So if he can blow up with some SCVs, it was still a successful attack by HayprO.
3 workers killed by him, 2 more Banelings moving in right now. Bomber needs to respond to that almost immediately. He's not moving.
Oh my god!
He's not moving! He's not moving! What a detonation, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That was fantastic stuff there by HayprO. He takes another 5 workers from that.
HayprO still on 2 base, but he did cripple Bomber's army, and Bomber actually doesn't have a lot of barracks, so killing all those Marines gonna delay a timing attack by Bomber quite by a lot, actually.
It absolutely will. HayprO is in a great position right now against Bomber. Another command center coming up right here for him. And HayprO needs to start following this up. He needs to get things sorted. And he's doing just that. Tech is on the way. Centrifugal hooks upgrade. Speed for the Banelings. And another hatchery. And, of course, a Spire as well.
Definitely. And we do have a 3rd base. I'd like it to be seen followed up by a 4th base as well. He does have the momentum to just drone up and get a crazy advantage on the map right now.
Bomber moving across as quickly as possible. He's looking for a bit of drop action right here. We see the siege tank and 4 Marines moving in. HayprO needs to defend against this pretty well. He shouldn't have too much of a problem, I would think. He's got a few Zerglings, and of course he's got a Spine Crawler with his mineral line.
I think Bomber just tries to be a little bit annoying, you know.
Yeah, bit of harassment, nothing special. Deploying at the bottom right there, the range of the tank will allow him to do a little bit of damage to that. A quick surround right there, and eliminating that drop without too much of a problem, but he's still taking tank shelling in the middle of his mineral line, which is not pleasant.
2nd tank and some more Marines coming up now, but the Spire has been finished, so unless Bomber decides to get out there very quickly, he will lose all his forces against Mutas.
No question. The Spine Crawler going down, taking some sustained tank fire, while Bomber actually unsieges and is ready to do a bit more damage there, and he is off before the Mutalisks are ready to deploy.
Bomber having a very strong macro. Looking at the supply count, he almost catch up in SCVs again, has a 3rd base almost ready, just needs to lift it down there, and it is actually an orbital command and no planetary forces, meaning he has a strong economy. His biggest problem right now is he only has 11 Marines. He has 7 tanks, which makes him very strong against the Crowned Army, but he has not a lot to deal with Muta harassment.
The The Mutahelisk harassment is going to prove to be very unpleasant. HayprO is certainly behind in terms of his army count, but he does have that advantage. Orbital Command taking a little bit of fire right here. He'll lift it off and try and back it behind that missile turret. HayprO doesn't want to go in there. He doesn't really have a critical mass to deal with the missile turret without taking at least one loss. He's not a fan of that right now, and his forces are very limited. He needs to be very, very careful with what he's doing. HayprO moving around, trying to scout something, doesn't find another base right here. And Bomber now, knowing that his opponent has good Mutalisk force, is starting to deal with that.
Taking a 4th base now as well, and Bomber moving down with his orbital command, feeling very confident in his strength. He does have a lot of turrets, so he is pretty safe against any kind of aggression by Mutas.
There we go. Well, Bomber rolling forward with the tanks right here, and Marines are deployed, but as I said, not a great number of them. He is supported by Medivacs. He does have +1 upgrade. That will certainly help him out an awful lot. HayprO, he scouts the timing. He tries to deny this missile turret, which he's able to do for the moment. Bomber repulsing HayprO for the time being, and a couple more Mutalisks to follow this one up as well, and +1 flyer attack almost complete.
Bomber going for an armory now. He will be able to research the +2. His upgrades are looking really good, a little bit ahead of HayprO's.
Bomber's got a pretty nice secure position right here. It's going to be kind of difficult to deal with. HayprO can try and mass up as many mutants as possible, and he's also getting himself some access. If you look at this down the bottom, he is taking out the structural rocks on both sides so he can try and charge in from the flank.
Very smart move. If he gets in some Zerglings into the economy line, those tanks will actually make short notice out of his own workers.
Of course, absolutely. It's a great idea, and that's a lot of deployed tanks from Bomber. Even with Bomber's control, it is very possible that he would actually make a micro mistake there, and they would fire since they do so automatically.
They're providing the station pit now as well. Very smart play, getting those infestors out.
It'll certainly help him out an awful lot. Neural Parasite is great, and Bomber not really going for a huge, well, actually he is. He's building a huge amount of Marines right now. He's really pumped up his barracks since we last checked his base. A lot of reactors, massive numbers.
Being up to 12 barracks, if you count the reactors as a second barracks.
Oh my. Look at the base right here. Here come the Banelings. This could be messy. Bomber needs to leave immediately. He pulls them off just in time. The Mutalisks are gutting the siege tank line quite nicely, but that could have been so much worse.
He could actually have been taking out the orbital command with his Mutas, but still doing quite a bit of damage. Only 5 Marines in the main base of Bomber now. HayprO should be able to take out those Marines and actually deny upgrades.
He's just cancelled +2 armor. You can't really complain about that. So HayprO is still doing very well against Bomber right now. If we have a look at the comparison, we see 77 drones to 65 SCVs. Here's the current income coming in. HayprO with a slight advantage in that regard, although Bomber with a much larger army.
Being very scary with 10 siege tanks and 60 Marines. HayprO needs to go to Hive Tech to get Protoss out to actually deal with an army like that in the future.
He must indeed, and he does have the +2 flyer attack upgrade and +2 Zerg melee attack upgrade, so that's absolutely perfect setup for Broodlords later on. Missile turret taken out very easily there by HayprO, who is looking to deny some upgrades. He could have actually taken that armory out there if he's very, very quick, I think. Unfortunately, he won't.
I think the Marines were in time there. HayprO doesn't want to risk to lose all his Mutas, because then he's in a really difficult spot to actually still attack. Bomber moving out now. Creep spread is not as far as it should be, and Bomber's already halfway to the base of HayprO.
Plenty of Banelings being stocked up right here. Will Bomber see them? He will. He sees a few anyway. He doesn't know how many. In the meantime, we do see a drop at the top of the base right here that has cleaned out the mineral line. And Bomber is not killing a huge amount of workers because they've already pulled off there, but he's forced HayprO to pull back. It is a two-pronged attack, and that's going to be problematic. There's an opportunity there.
Bomber losing all workers on his natural in the meantime, but Bomber's in a really nice spot. All his siege tanks will be denying units coming down from the ramp, and there's quite a big amount of Marines as well.